All right, so it's been like almost 2 weeks since last time. I was able to get a few new slime animations done and in the game. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'll just show you a close-up of all the new animations, and then I'll show you what they look like in the actual game. And then I guess I'll show you a little bit of like some of the code, so you get an idea of how much work is involved. So this is what I call the absorb animation. It's where after you kill a slime, when you kill a slime, it's just sitting on the ground like this. And then I had the idea that if you're standing on the slime pile, when you jump up, the slime should like pull you back down a bit, so it like absorbs your jump. So this animation right here is that one. It's not really like from like a realistic physics point of view, it's not really perfect or anything like that. But when you see it in the actual game, it kind of makes more sense. So I guess that's pretty much it. But yeah, I hadn't actually animated in quite a while. I think the last like real animation I did was the slime death animation, which was quite a few months ago. So when I was first animating this, this is the second version. I did another version which I had to delete because wasn't good enough. So this is the first version. So I hadn't animated in a few months, and then this was my attempt at the slime absorb. And I couldn't really tell if it was going to work or not. And then I like went through the trouble of actually putting it in the actual game, which I'll show later. And it doesn't. The problem with this is it doesn't look like slime. If you look at it up close, it kind of looks like slime, like the middle part here. Like I tried to make it look like slime, and the bottom part kind of looks like slime, but ultimately it's more like smoke or like water than it is like slime. So this one is worthless. I couldn't actually use this, but I think it was like 5 hours to animate it, and then another 2 or so to like get it in the game. So it's not the end of the world. And I was actually like really happy with this game design idea for the absorbing the jump. So since that's like one of my favorite game design aspects so far, I wanted it to have a really good animation, or like a better animation than the other one. So I went ahead and redid it, and then there's probably like another like 8 or 10 hours of work, but yeah. So that's that one. Then there's another one called Wobble. So this is when the slime's on the ground, and then you just walk over it. So you don't jump on top of it, you're just walking across it, and that'll slow you down also. So it kind of just wobbles up and down to indicate that that you touched it. And then actually if you're standing on it and you jump, I do believe it also plays the wobble animation. I can't even remember, but we'll see in a second. So this is the wobble animation. It's pretty simple. And then the final one is the dissolve animation. So I'm going to zoom in a bit more. So this is when the slime was already dead before, and it kind of first it's like an enemy, and then you kill it, and then it's like an obstacle. And then if you walk across it enough times and jump on it enough times, then it dissolves, and then it's nothing. So it goes from an enemy just to an obstacle to nothing. And part of the reason for that is I don't want the player to get stuck. Like if you're standing on top of slime and there's like a platform you want to jump to and there's nowhere else to go, and it's like absorbing your jump, then in theory the player could get stuck. So this, having the slime eventually dissolve, prevents anything like that, and it's also a little bit better, I think, like game design wise. So that's the 4 animations. I'll go ahead and show you the first. I'll show you what it looks like right now. So slimes walk back and forth. That's what we had before. But now when I jump on them, actually this is what we had before. So it's dead now. And now you can see that when I touch it, it wobbles. It goes like wobble up and down. So that's one difference. The other difference is see how my player slows down when I touch it? That's another difference. And if I'm standing still on it and then I try to move, my acceleration's like really low. But yeah, so then this is the cool part. This is the absorb. If I try to jump while I'm standing on it, it absorbs my jump. And yeah, it'll play the wobble when you land on it, not when it first absorbs. So like normally I can jump really high. So I'm jumping really high, but then when I stand on this, I can't jump high. There's actually a bug actually where right there I did jump higher than I was supposed to, but if I fix all the bugs, then I won't ever be able to jump high. That'll be the max height that I can jump at. So you can see how like it absorbs my jump, and then some slime kind of comes up to indicate that my jump was absorbed. And then if I do that enough times, or step on it enough times, see it just dissolved now. So now I can jump. It doesn't make a difference now. There's nothing there anymore. So I got some more over here I'll show you. But yeah, there's a bunch of little bugs. It's not totally fixed yet, but this is pretty much done. So now I'll like create a few slime piles. So now you can see like if I have a bunch of momentum and I start walking, I'll get slowed down by the slime. And then as I walk by them, you can see one by one they wobble. And I can also like jump between them and stuff. You know. And the flip of the absorb depends on the direction of my jump. So if I'm jumping this way, like if I'm jumping that way, the slime kind of comes up that way, and then jumping the other way, the slime shoots up the other way. So it kind of like follows the direction you're jumping in. And then if I'm standing completely still, it's random. And then they have a certain amount of HP. There's like the alive HP and the dead HP, which is kind of weird. But when you walk on it, that's 1, and when you jump on it, that's 2. So right now I think I gave them 20 dead HP and 1 alive HP. It'll probably be closer to like 10 and 10 or something like that. But yeah, I was pretty happy with this. That might have been a little bug, but whatever. So yeah, that one's done. Happy with that. I was really on the fence about like redoing that other animation. Oh yeah, I'll show you the other animation now. So I wasn't really sure, like, well, I'll just show you the other animation. Hopefully this will work. Yeah, the reason I deleted, like, even though I'm behind schedule and I shouldn't just be like deleting a full day of work. I already explained why I think it's worth it to delete it. Okay, so now it'll show the old absorb animation. So that one, okay. So this is now what you're seeing. So it looks okay. This version doesn't have the wobble in, or like it doesn't. But yeah, so like the animation, it looks okay, but ultimately kind of looks more like smoke than slime. So I mean, it's not terrible. It's also too small, which isn't actually that easy to fix. But yeah, so anyway, so that's why I redid that one. And yeah, so just so you get an idea of how much work is involved, every time I animate something and I want to put it in the actual game, there's a bunch of steps I have to go through. Let me just go back to the current version. Okay, that's always annoying. I guess I'll have to close this. Yeah, when you switch between versions, sometimes it doesn't like it. Well, why is that even there? Can I just switch? Hopefully if I delete this, that doesn't, I guess that doesn't make a difference. I'm in a different version. Yeah, it should be fine. Sometimes I have kind of a brain fart, and I'll do something in source tree, and I'll delete some code or something, and then it's a little bit easy to make a mistake sometimes. Okay, so I was gonna show you, for example, the absorb animation. It takes like a certain amount of time to animate it, but then I can't just put it in the game. There's a whole bunch of stuff I have to do to actually get it in the game. So I'll give you an idea of what that involves. So as you probably realize, because this is made out of this isn't a vector-based game. This is a image-based game. So I need to make a sprite sheet out of it. It's loading right now. Is it frozen? Okay. So yeah, so you might think like, oh, it's not that big a deal. You just make a sprite sheet. Well, the thing is, each frame of animation is a different size. So the size of this frame isn't the same as the size of this frame. So what I could do is take the entire stage size, so like 190 by 140, and I could have each frame take up that amount of space. Then it would be really convenient, but the problem is, in terms of GPU memory, the image is uncompressed when it's loaded into memory, so every pixel takes up the same amount of memory. So if you have transparent space, that wastes memory when you load it into GPU. So whenever I make an image that's going to be in the game, it has to have as little transparent space as possible. Otherwise, I'm wasting memory. So in order to do that, I have to like go through each frame, and then I draw a rectangle around how much space it takes up. So this is the space it takes up for the base, and the blue rectangle is the space it takes up for the shine. So I have to go through every frame, and I have to like indicate how much space it takes up with these boxes. So that takes, like half an hour or something. But yeah, so you could see like now I have somewhere where it says how big each frame of animation is. Then what I do is I take just the frame and I ignore the transparent space around the frame, and then I make sprite sheets out of it. And I have to have one sprite sheet for the base and one sprite sheet for the shine, because there's reasons why I need to do that. But then another annoying thing is, for web game, or just for the way I'm making games in general, any game that runs in a browser, there's this thing called like automatic garbage cleanup. So when you load it into memory, it'll forget about it in like 5 minutes, roughly, it's different depending on different things. But when you load something into memory, it gets eventually automatically unloaded unless you show it within 5 minutes. Like, it's kind of hard to explain, but so there's always a chance that things like, okay, I don't want to have to go into too much detail, but basically I can't even make one sprite sheet. I have to split it up into multiple sprite sheets. So you could see this is part 0. I had to change the color to white, but you could see the first 8 frames are in one sprite sheet. The second few are in another sprite sheet. Third few, another few, whatever. So first I have to frame it, then I have to convert those frames into several sprite sheets. And then what I have to do is this is the annoying part. Then I have to do this. So for every frame of animation, I have to say the X and the Y on the sprite sheet, meaning this part here, and then the offset on the left, the offset on the top, which is this part here. So this is this value here, that's the left and the top offset, and then the width and the height of the frame. And then I also have to say which sprite sheet it's on. So when you go, so every time I make an animation, there's like a massive amount of work just to get it in the game, is what I'm trying to describe. So when I like redid that first slime animation, it's actually a lot more work than you might think because I have to animate it and then also have to do the sprite sheet stuff, which is really not that fun. And as you could see, like the death, since the death animation has 117 frames or something, it's a lot of work. You know, it's split up into like 13 different sprite sheets. So yeah, it's not that, you know, there's ways you could automate this, but in my case, it's not really something I can actually realistically do. But yeah, so if you're curious, you know, that's one of the reasons why this kind of thing takes a long time to do. But anyway, sorry, I kind of rambled on there, but yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the slime, the new features for the slime. I also added like XP, a number that pops up. So when you kill an enemy, it'll say how much XP you got. And then I'm working on the animation for the bar here. So like it's not done yet, but it's gonna change color. It's gonna like shine a bit, and it's gonna grow, and then the text is gonna like count up. So yeah, that's what I'm working on next. But yeah. So anyway, I guess that's about it. There's a bunch of little stuff I have to fix with the slime, but pretty happy with it. At this point, I have like a decent amount of, you know, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different slime animations. So I'm starting to get the ball rolling a bit. But anyway, hopefully, yeah, I think there's a pretty good chance I'll have quite a lot of stuff to show next time. But I'm probably gonna have to update you in 2 weeks because I don't have internet at my apartment right now. I have some weird situation where I have like very limited internet, so I don't even know if I'll be able to update you in 1 week. But anyway, okay, so that's about it. I guess see you next time.